Hello, I'm Dr. Erik Nilssen, orthopedic surgeon and co-founder of WealthDX. Welcome to Navigating Financial Wellness for Resident and Fellow Doctors, proudly presented by WealthDX. Before we get started, I want to acknowledge something that most of us never heard during medical school orientation. You were trained to care for everyone's health but your own, especially your financial health. Physicians dedicate years, often a decade or more, to mastering the science of medicine. Yet, almost none of us receive formal training in personal finance, business, contracts, or wealth building. And the impact is real. Research consistently shows what many of you already feel. Nearly 70% of residents report significant financial stress, and financial strain is now recognized as a contributor to physician burnout, anxiety, and even career dissatisfaction. It's not because physicians lack intelligence, it's because the system never taught us this. That gap is exactly why WealthDX was created. Our mission is simple: to empower physicians with clarity, confidence, and control over their financial lives. The same confidence you bring to your clinical decisions every day. Over the next 40 minutes, we're going to break down the key financial foundations every physician should understand in clear, practical language. How to approach student loans strategically. What to look for in your first contract. Protecting your income and your family with the right insurance. Smart saving and investing habits for long-term wealth. And tax, legal, and financial pitfalls we see physicians encounter early in their careers. My goal today is not to turn you into financial planners. It's to give you a strong, physician-specific framework so you can make informed, confident decisions as your income grows and your career evolves. So I encourage you to be present, take notes, and think of this session the same way you'd think of a patient care plan. Except this time, the patient is you. This is your prescription for financial wellness, stability, and peace of mind, not just for today, but for the decades ahead. Let's begin. Let's start with an introduction to financial literacy. Most of us went through years of medical training without ever being formally taught how to manage money. Yet financial decisions play a huge role in our overall well-being and peace of mind. So this section is really about laying the foundation, understanding your financial landscape, appreciating the importance of financial literacy, and learning how to make informed financial decisions that support your goals. The financial world that residents and fellows step into is unique and often overwhelming. You're coming out of medical school with significant student loan debt, stepping into a modest income, and juggling major life decisions, maybe moving cities, starting a family, or considering buying a home. For many, this is the first time you're managing a real budget, paying bills, and trying to plan ahead while still living on a tight training salary. Recognizing that reality is the first step toward taking control. When you understand your financial landscape, how much comes in, how much goes out, and where it's going, you can start to make intentional choices instead of reactive ones. And that awareness builds confidence and stability over time. Financial literacy itself isn't about becoming a financial advisor. It's about building the knowledge and habits that lead to financial stability. When you understand how money works, things like cash flow, debt management, insurance, and investing, you're able to avoid costly mistakes that can set you back years. You start to recognize how early decisions about spending, saving, and borrowing affect your long-term freedom. Developing financial literacy during your training years sets the stage for everything that comes after. Buying a home, starting a practice, or planning for retirement. And it helps you move from just surviving financially to actually building wealth and security. Ultimately, financial literacy is empowering. When you have the right information, you make better choices. Choices that reflect your goals, your family's needs, and your future aspirations. You'll find that financial confidence reduces stress, strengthens relationships, and even improves focus in your professional life. Physicians who understand their finances don't feel trapped by debt or fearful of making big decisions. Instead, they're able to plan with purpose, whether that's paying off loans strategically, investing wisely, or protecting their income through insurance and estate planning. Financial literacy gives you control, and with control comes peace of mind. So as we move forward in this session, keep in mind that developing a strong foundation in financial literacy during your residency or fellowship isn't just about money. It's about freedom. It's about navigating the complexities of your financial life with clarity and confidence so you can focus on what truly matters: your patience, your purpose, and your future. One of the biggest challenges during residency and fellowship is figuring out how to manage your cash flow. Your income is limited, your expenses can feel unpredictable, and yet you're expected to make smart financial decisions that impact your future. This is where budgeting and cash flow management become essential. Think of budgeting as your financial GPS. It tells you where your money is going, and it helps you decide where it should go. It's not about restriction, it's about awareness. By tracking your income and expenses, you start to see patterns. Maybe you're overspending on convenience or underestimating certain recurring costs. Once you can see it clearly, you can make adjustments that keep you financially balanced month to month. Cash flow management goes a step further. It's about making sure your money works efficiently, timing when bills are paid, when income hits, and when you can safely set money aside for savings, loan payments, or emergencies. Even small shifts, like automating payments, consolidating debt, or setting up separate accounts for fixed and variable expenses, can dramatically improve your financial control. For residents and fellows, the goal isn't perfection, it's stability. When you have a budget that aligns with your priorities and a handle on where every dollar goes, you reduce stress and give yourself the freedom to focus on your medical education. It's about building good habits now while your income is tight, so that when your income increases later, you already have a system in place to manage it wisely. So budgeting and cash flow management aren't just financial exercises. They're the foundation of financial peace. And for physicians, that peace translates directly into better focus, less burnout, and a stronger start to your long-term financial journey. Now let's talk about one of the biggest financial stressors for almost every resident and fellow: student debt. It's not uncommon for new physicians to finish training with well over $200,000 in loans, and managing that burden effectively can make or break your early financial stability. So in this section, we're going to focus on understanding your loans, exploring repayment options, and developing a strategy that fits your career path and personal goals. Understand your student loan portfolio. The first step is simply knowing what you have. Many doctors have multiple loans from different lenders: federal, private, subsidized, and unsubsidized, and each one may have different interest rates and terms. Take time to log into your loan servicer accounts, gather all your balances, interest rates, and payment schedules, and get a complete picture of your total debt. You can't build a strategy until you know what you're working with. Explore repayment options. Once you know your portfolio, the next step is exploring your repayment options. Federal loans often offer several programs, such as income-driven repayment plans, extended or graduated plans, and for many of you in academic or nonprofit hospitals, public service loan forgiveness, or PSLF. Each plan has trade-offs. Income-driven repayment can help keep monthly payments manageable during training, while PSLF can lead to significant forgiveness after 10 years of qualifying payments. The key is aligning your repayment plan with your career path. If you're planning to work in a 501c3 hospital, PSLF might be ideal. If you plan to go private, refinancing later might make more sense. Maximize loan consolidation and refinancing. Consolidation and refinancing are tools you can use strategically. Federal loan consolidation can simplify repayment and help you qualify for forgiveness programs. Private refinancing, on the other hand, can sometimes lower your interest rate, but you'll lose federal protections like income-based repayment and PSLF eligibility. So timing is everything. Refinancing might make sense once you've completed training and your income increases. Manage loan payments. Managing loan payments is all about consistency and planning. Set up automatic payments if possible to avoid missed or late payments, which can hurt your credit and delay forgiveness timelines. Include your student loan payments as a fixed part of your monthly budget, just like rent or utilities. By treating it as a non-negotiable expense, you'll stay organized and reduce stress. Leverage tax benefits. Don't overlook the tax side of student loans. You may be able to deduct up to $2,500 of student loan interest each year, depending on your income level. While it's not a huge amount, every bit helps, and it's a reminder that understanding the tax implications of your loans can save you money over time. Monitor and update your repayment plan. Finally, make it a habit to review your repayment plan regularly. Your income, marital status, or employer may change, and those changes can impact which repayment option makes the most sense. Revisit your loans at least once a year, especially as you transition from residency to practice, to ensure your strategy still fits your situation. Closing transition. The bottom line is this: student loan debt doesn't have to control your financial future. By understanding your loans, choosing the right repayment strategy, and staying proactive, you can reduce financial stress, stay on track for forgiveness if applicable, and focus your energy where it belongs, on your patients and your career. Now that we've talked about budgeting and managing debt, let's shift to something that can have a major long-term financial impact: your employment contract. For most physicians, that first contract after training sets the tone for your career. It affects your income, lifestyle, work-life balance, and even your ability to change jobs later. So understanding how to review and negotiate your contract isn't just important, it's essential. The first step is understanding what's actually in your contract. Every employment agreement will outline compensation, work hours, benefits, vacation time, call responsibilities, and termination clauses. It may also include restrictive covenants, like non-compete or non-solicitation clauses, that can limit where you can work after leaving. Too many residents focus only on salary, but the real details that impact your quality of life are often buried in the fine print. You want to know exactly what you're agreeing to before you sign anything. Next comes negotiation. This is where many residents feel uncomfortable, but it's crucial to remember, this is a business transaction. You've invested years of training and bring tremendous value to your future employer. Develop clear strategies to advocate for yourself. That might include negotiating for a higher base salary, a signing bonus, more paid time off, CME funds, or a more favorable call schedule. Even small adjustments in your first contract can have a major ripple effect over time, both financially and personally. I strongly recommend consulting with an experienced healthcare attorney before signing any contract. This isn't about distrust, it's about protection. A good attorney understands the nuances of physician agreements, from malpractice tail coverage to termination provisions, and can make sure the contract aligns with your long-term goals. It's a small investment that can prevent big problems down the road. Approach every negotiation with confidence. Know your market value, what physicians in your specialty and region are earning, and be prepared to discuss it professionally. Confidence doesn't mean aggression. It means being informed, calm, and clear about your priorities. If something doesn't feel right or isn't clearly defined, ask for clarification. Remember, this is the time to ensure the agreement reflects your value and expectations. Once both parties agree, the final step is documentation. Make sure every agreed upon term is reflected accurately in writing before signing. Verbal promises or informal agreements don't count. Only what's written in the contract is enforceable. Review it one last time with your attorney if needed, and don't rush the process. Taking that extra time to finalize the details protects you, your career, and your peace of mind. Your first employment contract is one of the most important financial documents you'll ever sign. By understanding the elements, negotiating with confidence, and seeking expert guidance, you set yourself up for long-term professional success and financial security. Let's move into one of the most important and sometimes least exciting parts of financial wellness: insurance planning. For physicians, insurance isn't just about protection, it's about preserving your future earning potential and safeguarding everything you've worked so hard to build. Each of these types of insurance plays a specific role in your overall financial security, and understanding how they fit together is critical. Life insurance is the foundation of any protection plan. Even if you don't have dependents yet, life insurance can play a key role in your long-term financial strategy, especially if you have debt, a mortgage, or plans to start a family. For most physicians early in their career, term life insurance provides the most affordable protection, covering you for a specific period while you build assets. Later on, permanent policies like whole life or indexed universal life can become powerful tools for estate planning, tax diversification, and even supplemental retirement income. The goal is simple. If something happens to you, your loved ones are protected from financial hardship. If life insurance protects your family, disability insurance protects your income, your most valuable asset. Think about it. Your medical degree is worth millions of dollars in future earnings. If an illness or injury prevents you from practicing, your entire financial plan could unravel. That's why it's essential to have an own occupation disability policy, one that pays benefits if you can't perform the duties of your specific specialty, even if you can work in another capacity. Relying only on an employer's group policy is risky. It's often limited and may not follow you if you change jobs. A personal policy ensures your income and your lifestyle are protected. Malpractice coverage is something every physician must have, but not all policies are created equal. It's crucial to understand whether your policy is claims-made or occurrence-based. Claims-made policies only cover incidents reported while the policy is active, meaning you might need tail coverage when switching jobs or retiring. Occurrence-based policies, on the other hand, cover you for any event that happened during the period of coverage, regardless of when the claim is filed. Knowing the difference and ensuring you're fully covered can protect you from potentially devastating liability. Health insurance is often taken for granted, but for physicians in training, it's still vital to review your coverage carefully. Make sure you understand your deductibles, copays, and out-of-pocket maximums. If your employer offers a high deductible plan, pairing it with a health savings account, HSA, can be a smart long-term move. Those funds grow tax-free and can even be used in retirement for healthcare expenses. A well-structured health plan prevents medical bills from derailing your financial goals. Finally, an umbrella policy provides an extra layer of liability protection on top of your home and auto insurance. As your income rises, you become more of a target for lawsuits, fair or not. An umbrella policy is relatively inexpensive and can cover you for claims that exceed your primary coverage limits. It's a simple, affordable way to protect your assets and your future earnings. Insurance planning is about protecting the engine that drives your financial plan, your ability to earn and provide. You can't control when accidents, illness, or lawsuits happen, but you can control how well prepared you are. A solid insurance foundation ensures that no matter what happens, your financial goals remain on track. Next, let's talk about something that affects every one of us: taxes. While most physicians don't go into medicine to become tax strategists, understanding how taxes impact your income and investments can dramatically improve your long-term financial picture. Smart tax planning isn't about avoiding taxes, it's about minimizing them legally and strategically so more of what you earn stays working for you. One of the simplest and most effective tax strategies is maximizing contributions to tax-advantaged retirement accounts. Plans like 401ks, 403bs, and IRAs allow you to defer taxes on the money you contribute and the growth that happens inside the account. That means your investments compound without being reduced by yearly taxes, which can make a massive difference over time. For residents, even small contributions matter. It's about developing the habit early. Once your income increases, you can maximize those contributions and take full advantage of employer matches and tax savings. The earlier you start, the longer your money has to grow tax deferred. The next area is deductions and credits. These are the opportunities to reduce your taxable income and potentially lower the amount of taxes you owe. For many physicians in training, that could include deductions for student loan interest, certain medical expenses, charitable donations, and even education-related costs. If you itemize, keep track of your out-of-pocket professional expenses, such as licensing fees, CME courses, or board exams, because they can add up. The key is being organized and proactive. Don't wait until tax time to scramble. Track these items throughout the year so you can take advantage of every deduction available. As your wealth begins to grow, tax-efficient investing becomes more important. Not all investment income is taxed the same way. Interest, dividends, and capital gains each have different tax implications. By structuring your portfolio strategically, for example, using municipal bonds, index funds, or tax loss harvesting, you can help minimize the tax drag on your investment returns. A good rule of thumb: place tax inefficient assets like bonds in tax deferred accounts, and tax efficient assets like index funds or ETFs in taxable accounts. That small bit of planning can make a big impact on your after-tax growth. Finally, while estate planning might seem far off, it's never too early to start thinking about how to protect your assets and pass them efficiently to loved ones. Estate and inheritance tax planning isn't just for the ultra-wealthy. It's for anyone who wants to make sure their wishes are carried out and their family is taken care of. Using strategies like trust, gifting, and beneficiary designations can help reduce estate taxes and ensure a smooth transfer of wealth. And remember, your life insurance, retirement accounts, and property titles all play a role in how your estate is handled. Working with a qualified estate planner can help ensure everything is coordinated properly. In summary, effective tax planning weaves through every part of your financial life, from how you save for retirement to how you invest and even how you leave a legacy. By being intentional about these strategies early on, you can keep more of what you earn, reduce financial stress, and create a stronger foundation for your future. As physicians, you dedicate your lives to caring for others, but it's just as important to protect what you've built for yourself. Asset protection and risk management are the cornerstones of long-term financial security. This isn't about being fearful, it's about being proactive and strategic. Let's walk through the 4 key pillars that help physicians safeguard their wealth and future. We'll start with asset allocation and diversification, the foundation of any protection strategy. No matter how much you earn or invest, risk can't be eliminated, but it can be managed. Diversifying across different asset classes, stocks, bonds, real estate, and cash, helps reduce exposure to any single area of risk. Think of diversification like having multiple income streams in medicine. If one slows down, others keep you stable. For physicians, this might also mean balancing market-based investments with non-correlated assets, such as whole life insurance cash values or real estate holdings. A thoughtful allocation ensures that no single event, economic downturn, market crash, or policy change, can derail your long-term plan. Next, estate planning and trusts. Estate planning isn't only for retirees or high net worth families. It's for anyone who wants to make sure their assets are protected and their wishes are honored. A properly structured estate plan can minimize estate taxes, protect assets from creditors, and provide a clear roadmap for how your wealth is transferred to your heirs. Trusts, in particular, can shield assets from lawsuits or malpractice claims, while allowing you to maintain control over how and when your wealth is distributed. This kind of planning ensures that your life's work benefits your loved ones, not the IRS or a courtroom. Whole life insurance is often misunderstood, but it can be a powerful asset protection tool when used correctly. Unlike term insurance, whole life policies build cash value that grows tax-deferred and can be accessed during your lifetime. It also offers creditor protection in many states, meaning the policy's value is often shielded from lawsuits. For physicians, it provides both guaranteed death benefit protection and a stable, non-market correlated asset that can act as a financial buffer during market volatility. It's one of the few financial vehicles that offers liquidity, protection, and predictability all in one. Finally, malpractice insurance, something every physician knows about, but not everyone fully understands. This is your first line of defense against one of the biggest risks in medicine. The key is knowing what type of policy you have, claims made versus occurrence-based, and whether you're responsible for purchasing tail coverage when you leave an employer or change practice settings. Beyond that, it's important to understand your coverage limits and ensure they align with your specialty and exposure level. Malpractice insurance protects not just your practice, but your personal assets and your professional reputation. In short, Asset protection and risk management are about building a financial firewall around everything you've worked so hard for. By diversifying your assets, putting the right estate plan in place, leveraging tools like whole life insurance, and maintaining proper malpractice coverage, you create a system that lets you practice medicine and live life with confidence and peace of mind. Now that we've discussed protection and risk management, let's shift to the exciting part, building wealth. For physicians, the goal isn't just to earn a great income, it's to turn that income into lasting financial freedom. Building wealth requires strategy, patience, and consistency, and this framework provides the roadmap. 1. Establish clear financial goals and an investment timeline. Every strong investment plan starts with clarity. What are you investing for? Retirement, buying a home, paying off student loans, or achieving financial independence earlier in life? Defining your goals gives your investments direction and helps determine your risk tolerance and timeline. If you know you'll need funds in 5 years, that money should be invested differently than money you won't touch for 30 years. As physicians, you've spent years focusing on your career. Now it's time to give your money a job too. 2. Diversify your investment portfolio across different asset classes. Diversification is your best defense against volatility. By spreading investments across different asset classes, such as stocks, bonds, real estate, and cash, you reduce the risk of any single event wiping out your progress. It's the same principle as medicine. You wouldn't rely on a single diagnostic test to make a major decision. Diversification gives you balance and stability, allowing you to stay invested even during market downturns. The goal is not to avoid risk entirely, it's to manage it intelligently. 3. Leverage tax-advantaged accounts like 401ks and Roth IRAs. Next, take full advantage of tax-advantaged accounts. Your 401k, 403b, and IRA accounts allow you to grow wealth tax-deferred, or, in the case of Roth accounts, tax-free. These vehicles help lower your taxable income today while building future retirement assets that could grow faster because they aren't being reduced by annual taxes. If your employer offers a match, always contribute at least enough to capture that free money. It's one of the simplest and most effective ways to accelerate your wealth building. 4. Regularly review and rebalance your investment portfolio. Once your investments are in place, they still require attention. Markets move, your goals evolve, and your tolerance for risk may shift. That's why it's important to review and rebalance your portfolio at least annually. Rebalancing means adjusting your holdings to maintain your target allocation, selling some assets that have grown faster, and reinvesting in those that have lagged. It keeps your portfolio aligned with your plan and prevents emotion from taking over during volatile times. 5. Seek professional guidance from a qualified financial advisor. Even the most disciplined physicians benefit from having a financial professional on their team. Just as patients rely on your medical expertise, you can rely on experienced advisors to guide you through complex financial decisions. A good advisor helps you coordinate your investment strategy with your taxes, insurance, and estate plan, all the moving parts of your financial life. That outside perspective can help you avoid costly mistakes and stay accountable to your goals. 6. Prioritize long-term wealth building over short-term gains. Finally, remember that wealth building is a marathon, not a sprint. Avoid the temptation to chase hot investments or time the market. The most successful investors stay consistent. They contribute regularly, reinvest dividends, and let compounding work its magic. As a physician, you understand delayed gratification better than anyone. The same principle applies here. Focus on steady, disciplined growth rather than short-term wins, and your future self will thank you. The takeaway here is simple. Building wealth isn't about luck or timing. It's about having a plan, staying diversified, and making consistent, informed decisions over time. By combining these principles with the protection strategies we covered earlier, you'll have a complete framework for achieving long-term financial freedom. Let's talk about one of the most exciting and sometimes most overwhelming milestones in a physician's career, transitioning from resident or fellow to attending. This stage brings tremendous opportunity, but also major financial and lifestyle changes. The habits and systems you establish here will shape your financial future for decades to come. So let's walk through the key steps to make this transition smooth, intentional, and successful. The first step is to negotiate your employment contract. For many physicians, that first attending contract sets the foundation for everything that follows: your income, benefits, schedule, and work-life balance. It's important to review each term carefully and, when possible, work with a healthcare attorney or advisor who understands physician contracts. Make sure you understand how compensation is structured, whether it's base salary, productivity-based, or a combination. And review clauses like termination, non-compete restrictions, and malpractice coverage. Remember, this is your career, and you have the right to advocate for fair and transparent terms that reflect your value. Next, it's time to develop a comprehensive financial plan. Your income will likely jump significantly, and that can be both a blessing and a risk. Without a plan, it's easy to fall into what we call lifestyle inflation, spending more simply because you're earning more. Instead, start by allocating your increased income intentionally. Pay down high-interest debt, build an emergency fund, and begin investing toward long-term goals. This is also a great time to revisit insurance coverage, update beneficiaries, and establish automatic savings habits. A structured financial plan gives you control and confidence as your financial life becomes more complex. Along with higher income comes higher responsibility and the need for proper protection. You'll want to review and secure the right types of insurance: malpractice, disability, life, and personal liability coverage. Make sure your disability policy is own occupation, meaning it protects your ability to perform your specific specialty. Life insurance should be sized appropriately for your family or financial obligations, and an umbrella policy can add another layer of protection. This step ensures that no matter what happens, your income and assets remain secure. Once your income increases, taxes will become one of your largest expenses, so it's critical to plan strategically. Work with a financial advisor or CPA to implement tax-efficient strategies such as maximizing retirement account contributions, funding HSAs, and using deductions or credits where available. Even simple steps like structuring charitable giving or investment accounts wisely can make a big difference in your take-home pay. The goal is to minimize what goes to taxes legally, so more of your hard-earned income is building your wealth. As you move into attending life, you'll also encounter the business side of medicine. Understanding practice management, billing, coding, and patient flow can help you work more efficiently and improve your financial performance. Even if you're employed, having a grasp of how revenue is generated and expenses are managed makes you a more informed and valuable physician. Think of it as learning the business of healthcare, because ultimately, you're both a clinician and a professional in a complex system. And finally, perhaps the most important element, maintaining work-life balance. The transition to attending life can be demanding. The hours might still be long and expectations are higher. That's why it's crucial to set healthy boundaries early, develop personal routines, and protect time for relationships, hobbies, and recovery. Remember, financial wellness and personal wellness go hand in hand. Success isn't just about your bank account. It's about creating a sustainable and fulfilling life as a physician. So, as you prepare for your transition to attending, think of this as a fresh start, a chance to align your career, finances, and lifestyle with your long-term goals. Negotiate wisely, plan intentionally, protect what you've built, and most importantly, make room for balance. That's how you set yourself up not just for financial success, but for a life and career you truly enjoy. This slide represents the financial journey of a physician, from medical school through pre-retirement. Each stage brings new challenges, but also new opportunities. During residency and fellowship, the focus is often survival, managing debt, setting a budget, and learning the basics. In the early attending years, income rises quickly, and that's where good habits and smart planning make all the difference. As your career matures, priorities shift toward long-term wealth building, tax efficiency, and protecting what you've built. Financial wellness isn't something that just happens with a higher paycheck. It's built through financial literacy. By understanding how money works, how to budget, invest, manage debt, and plan strategically, you gain control and confidence. This knowledge empowers you to make informed decisions, avoid costly mistakes, and build a future on your own terms. The transition from trainee to attending can feel overwhelming. You're suddenly earning more, facing new responsibilities, and making major life decisions. But when you've built a strong foundation in financial literacy, you approach that transition with clarity instead of anxiety. You're not reacting, you're leading. You have a plan, and you know where your money is going and why. Financial wellness doesn't end once you've landed your first attending job. It's an ongoing process. Budgeting, reviewing investments, managing taxes, and planning for retirement. The goal is long-term stability, the ability to focus on practicing medicine and living life without financial stress hanging over you. At the end of the day, financial wellness gives you freedom. The freedom to focus on your patients, your family, and your purpose. When you have control of your financial life, you can give your best self to your professional life. And that's really what this entire course is about, empowering you to secure your financial future so you can provide exceptional patient care. Financial literacy isn't just about money, it's about peace of mind. It's about giving yourself options, creating balance, and ensuring that your career supports the life you want to live. Start where you are, take one step at a time, and keep building. Because when you're financially well, everything else, from your career to your relationships to your overall happiness, thrives as well. As we wrap up, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked once the initial planning is done: ongoing financial wellness. Financial success isn't a destination. It's a continuous process that requires attention, adjustment, and discipline over time. Much like maintaining your own health, financial wellness depends on consistent habits and regular checkups. Let's break down the 4 key areas that help keep you financially fit. First, budget maintenance. Early in your career, your budget may feel like a restriction, but really, it's your roadmap. As your life evolves, you move, get married, have kids, buy a home, your expenses and priorities will change. That's why reviewing and adjusting your budget regularly is so important. A budget isn't something you set once and forget. It's a living document that helps you stay aligned with your goals. By tracking your spending and making small adjustments, you'll have the clarity and confidence to make intentional financial decisions. Next, debt management. Even after training, many physicians carry significant student loans or other debts. The key here is to prioritize and steadily reduce those obligations without sacrificing your other financial goals. Focus on high-interest debt first, like credit cards or private loans, while staying consistent on lower-interest, longer-term balances. As your income grows, resist the temptation to expand your lifestyle too quickly. Instead, channel that extra cash flow toward paying down debt and building assets. Eliminating debt is one of the most empowering financial moves you can make. It gives you freedom and flexibility. Then, investment portfolio review. Once you start investing, your job isn't done. Your portfolio needs regular checkups just like your patients do. Over time, market changes can shift your asset allocation, so it's important to rebalance periodically to maintain the right level of risk. Also, as your career progresses, your goals and timeline may evolve. You might want to shift from aggressive growth to a more balanced or income-focused strategy. The point is to stay engaged, understand where your money is, and make sure it's still aligned with your long-term objectives. And finally, financial discipline. This is the thread that ties everything together. Developing the right financial habits, saving consistently, living below your means, and avoiding impulsive spending is what creates lasting wealth. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Financial discipline is what keeps your plan on track when life gets busy or the market gets noisy. By maintaining that steady mindset, you'll not only achieve your goals, you'll sustain them. So, ongoing financial wellness means staying engaged, adaptable, and disciplined. You've worked hard to build a career helping others. Now it's time to protect and nurture your own financial health with that same level of care. When you review, rebalance, and refine regularly, financial wellness becomes not just a plan, but a way of life. Thank you for spending this time investing in your financial well-being. I hope today gave you clarity, confidence, and a healthier framework for approaching the financial side of your career. As physicians, you are trained to diagnose early, treat proactively, and prevent complications. Your financial life deserves that same level of proactive care. The earlier you build strong habits and a clear plan, the greater your freedom, choices, and peace of mind will be later. At WealthDX, this is what we do every day. We help physicians at every stage, residents, fellows, and attendings, build a financial roadmap that aligns with the life you want, not just the career you chose. If today brought up questions, uncertainty, or areas where you'd like support, please reach out. Whether you need help with student loans, your first contract, insurance, debt strategy, or long-term planning, we're here to guide you. Your call to action is simple. Before this week ends, take one step, one action to invest in your financial health. That might be scheduling a conversation with us, reviewing your benefits, or writing down your top 3 financial priorities. On behalf of WealthDX, thank you for being here, for what you do for your patients, and for taking the time to invest in your own financial future. We look forward to supporting you on this journey.